Begin PODFIX network transmission in 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, this is former WWF Light Heavyweight Champion Gilbert, brother, and you're listening to the Greetings Guild Podcast.
That was the last time I got the clap.
Okay, I knew we were going to try to be off seg, but you really need like a couple of semaphore flags would have been great.
Get the neon lights out.
I was going to say send up a flare, but you technically already did, and I should have seen it coming. Clap, yeah, that's a hell of a flare up, really. Okay, so do we get any preamble for that proclamation, or are we just going to kind of like move along?
Let's. You know what? It's a new year, and hello, Cretans. We are back once again.
New year, new you. Now with clap.
Oh, so nothing new then.
All right.
Same old, same old.
Well, let us know when you get better.
Yeah, same old, same old. We don't maintain any kind of schedule, not because of
especially now.
Well, yeah, we've been busy. We've been a little busy.
Yeah,
all of us. Do you want to go first? What you've been doing over the last couple months?
Yeah. So I don't know if it was like common knowledge on this podcast if I'd done like enough bitching to this effect that I had been unemployed for quite some time, and I accepted a full-time job in a land far, far away from the place that I was staying at, which was also in a land far, far away, Jay's house, and Jay's basement, which is kind of the name of a podcast, really, isn't it?
You know what? We got to pitch that to him. Make it a Patreon
I was gonna say
deal.
one of us should like run that by him or at some point.
God,
be like, hey,
that would be a great Patreon idea for him.
You do have a Patreon. This will like get those extra shekels. You know what I mean? So Jay's basement. All right, pencil that in. Anyway, yeah. So I accepted a job at a sports network. It's a small one. Not really. It's owned by like the biggest network and one of the biggest networks in the country, but it's a startup. So basically soccer coverage 24/7.
Awesome.
And
work is work.
Work is work. Soccer's actually kind of fascinating, as I've come to find out. So it's not like I'm even hurting during the shows, but oh my god, man, we have some long fucking days there.
I'm sure it's a little more interesting than golf.
Yeah. Yeah, not. I'm not even going to try to softball that in. It's.
I mean, who was it that made that? It was somebody who made like an older guy, like one of the legends. Made this insanely long putt.
It was Nicholas.
Was it Nicholas? Okay, I was thinking.
Yeah, because
Nicholas, I wasn't sure.
Because that was like the most interesting thing that we had seen on Golf Air up till that point, and we were like, "How did he do that?" The thing moved like it was a Roomba. That is insane. Insane. Yeah.
Yeah. We were fascinated by this, and I just stepped back and I was like, this is a really boring sport. When that's the highlight of the year.
There's some high spots in golf during our time there. The one Ryder Cup, I think it was the Ryder Cup where Phil Mickelson like all of a sudden decided to be awesome again and like absolutely flatten Patrick Reed. That was fucking fun. Was it Patrick? Yeah, it was. That was pretty cool because I had this, I have this like golf theory that like it's not quite staged like professional wrestling, but that the older golfers that are still on PGA kind of like clear the playing field for younger golfers. So they kind of like just, I mean, we've seen the Tiger Woods comeback of 2017, right?
Yeah.
The dude absolutely just slaughtered people left and right. And we're like, where the hell was this guy? On vacation. That's where he was. He was just taking it easy. Phil Mickelson did the same thing. Any of those older people like have like such an adroit control of the forces and physics that drive that game, even at an advanced age, that they could like if they were earnestly competing in any of those events, it would just be the same names at the top of the leaderboard every single fucking time. And that convinced me of that, was seeing Mickelson just be like, I'm going to kick everyone's ass today. And then he just does it. And then he stopped. And then he stopped doing it. He stopped doing it for like another 5 years.
I think he signed a contract with that new Saudi golf company.
Live, yeah.
Yeah.
Ram, I'm actually doing part-time at golf still, ironically. And I was actually working the day that it was announced that Ram was going to Live, and that was, all hands on deck, 24-hour breaking news cycle, you better be here. And I was like, I'm still going home early. Seriously, breaking news to me is like seeing that like big like ass cleft in the back of the sun about a week ago. Did you get wind of that?
No.
It was like a solar storm that was happening on the surface of the sun, and it was visible, and it looked like a giant butt.
Perfect.
Now I can say it and giggle right now, but at the time that I saw it, my like nascent fear of black holes kicked into high gear. I was like, well, I guess I don't need all this work anymore.
You've got the most irrational fear of black holes.
Dude, when they happen, it's over. There's nothing. There's no exit strategy for a black hole.
Yeah, but they're not.
Go ahead.
If there's a solar flare, it's going to knock out the internet and all the power on the planet. That's going to be more devastating than a black hole, which would just blink everything out in a heartbeat. Yeah,
well, obviously we wouldn't see a black hole coming, but fucking wait, that's part of it. What if we did? What if a black hole boop opens up? It's not going to sound like that. It's not going to make a noise. It's not going to make any noise at all.
It's in space. It doesn't make noise.
No, it's going to make a noise like the Aflac duck, probably. I don't know. Okay, so a black hole opens up. So there's nothing saying that we're just going to die instantaneously as we're being like spaghettified into like an angel hair's thread of an existence, and without any cognitive registration whatsoever. But what if we're still cognitive and we're aware of every single like reality that is conjoined in the nexus of that singularity? What if we're like not just aware but hyper aware in the time that we're alive? Maybe you don't even fucking die. Maybe it's just that forever.
So you think that our consciousness would move on while our bodies get split up into atoms?
I'm saying black holes are fucking scary, Bob.
Okay.
Yeah, look, seriously, I could be talking to Neil deGrasse Tyson. He could be explaining to me in like painstakingly ennui-inducing detail about like what goes in and out of a black hole, or why it does that, and I'd just be like, yeah, you're not quelling it for me, pal. This isn't working.
Yeah, he usually talks down or talks. He dumbs it down for people.
Yeah, and that's quite easy to detect. I realize that, but there's nothing you can't dumb down or even like wise up, if that's even an adjective. And that's a nascent fear of it's an irrational fear of black holes. So
what
that's
was that George Carlin, Father Mayhow, or Father Mayhow? What if a black hole were to open up and just like engulf us, but we still haven't given the blessing for the week? And
yes, Johnny, I'm pretty sure God has taken that into account.
All right, thank you, Father.
Speaking of, I thought I mentioned wrestling like about 200 words ago. Speaking of wrestling, so I'm up here now. And you actually work for the unnamed wrestling organization, right?
Anyone who listens to this knows what I do for a living.
Okay, so you work for the WWE, and
yes.
And you got all the goods on what happens in the.
You know what? By the time it trickles down to me, it's already on air.
There's no real drama.
There is nothing.
Or there is, but it's on the air. It's broadcast, and quite possibly,
very, very little passes through my desk before it goes on air.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm on a need-to-know basis.
So I ended up moving to Stamford, right? Stamford, Connecticut. So the reason being that there's a lot of like broadcast facilities up here. People are trying to like cut costs in overhead and also union involvement by bringing their stuff out of New York City on up to Connecticut.
Yeah, I think Connecticut has like a big tax break for production.
Yeah.
Things.
Yeah. So there's a shit ton of it here, but also wrestling. So, and I was talking to you a little bit before the show about like I was trying to figure out like what both of the buildings, how many. I was telling you like how many buildings there are and what the possible functions of both could be. There's the one that's literally like right across the river from me that you can see from my window, and then there's one. That is the old one.
I'm guessing that's the old one you're referring to,
with the big neon W in the front of it.
They both have the logo on the building, so
yeah.
Whichever one's taller, I think, is the new one.
Okay. See, the tall one over just over there looked like it was older to me because it looked like quite possibly a more aged corporate park. It's also being shared with like KPMG and some other businesses.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Whichever one has the gigantic belt on the outside. That's the new one.
That is the new one. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the one that to me it looks kind of like an attraction of some sort, like possibly like I don't know, like a WWE museum of some description.
Like a Hall of Fame that they don't have.
Like a Hall of Fame that they don't have. It just looks like. Usually, when you're that much of like a well-known entertainment entity, you kind of like keep your headquarters on the DL, right? I mean, I know it's Vince McMahon, and there's nothing about him that's on the DL at all. Like. Ever.
I mean, it's not like even the NFL. Everyone knows the commissioners in New York, but no one.
Yeah,
really
but if somebody told you to go find the commissioner's office, you'd be like, well, I guess I got to find the building first, and then I got to find out which floor he's on, and all this other stuff. Because there's no, I mean, in contrast with that mess over there's no like giant like blaring sign on the front of it that says, "Here's all the wrestlers. These are the people that like." We condition you to like either hate or adore from week to week, and at least one half of the building is like, you know, eat at Joe's, right? And the other building is a bit more discreet. I mean, you'll see the WWE logo around the crown of the building, but that's pretty much it. But here's the thing: on the other side of town, which you can literally walk to from here. Because Stamford ain't big, there's another building with the WWE logo on it. And I'm wondering if that was like the original site of like it was called the Titan Tower back in the day, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that was it.
Without knowing exactly the layout of Stamford,
yeah.
For the longest time, I thought the two buildings were right next to each other. So, and today I'm just now learning they're a little bit of a distance away, right?
Well, let's call the one that's across the Mill River here two buildings. That's the new one, and then that's the one that looks older. And on the other side of the town, there is a third building. That one looks bigger than either of these two piecemeal, and it looks like it's still in operation. It also looks much older. Like maybe it was made in the late 70s or something.
Then, without pulling up Google Maps, I am assuming that the one with the two buildings, that property is the new one.
Yeah.
Do you know which one has the giant belt outside?
Yes, the brand new one, or the one that looks at least brand new.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious because that belt is not even their belt anymore. And it looks like they just finished building it. Oh,
that's right. Yeah, they just changed it to a gold belt now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so...
Just changed it.
Revisions. What you gonna do? Yeah. So, by the way, if you're wondering what Stamford looks like, it's a whole lot of corporate parks on the shore, a shit ton of parking lots for boats. I'm not even kidding you. Because it's Connecticut, and that's how Connecticut do. And then anything north of Main Street is bullshit. There's nothing up there. There's just absolutely fucking whatever. I don't even know.
There's a seasonal amusement park there, right?
Seasonal amusement park?
I thought there was, or at least there. I mean, that's what some people from Golf Channel were complaining about all the time. Yeah, there's nothing up there except for NBC Sports and an amusement park. It has like a Ferris wheel or some other like
fucking Ferris. I've never seen anything like that around here.
It's probably gone by now. Then
there is one cool thing though, and of course it's only really accessible by people that have the money for it. The building that houses NBC Sports is called Chelsea Piers. Okay. Now, the building itself used to be the old Clairol shampoo factory. And there's a lot of that down here because like New York for the longest time, or at least the area around it, used to be like the nucleus of American industry. Like Jersey City has Colgate. The Colgate clock is still visible from Battery Park in New York City, which is the coolest thing. And up there, they did shampoo. So the building that NBC Sports is in is now like in the production area of the former factory. So you see like these huge girders all over the place. There's like insane like clearance up to the ceiling, and it's all concrete, right? But there had to be like other points of access. The other half of the building is home to Chelsea Piers, which is like this sports multiplex. So it would be like an exclusive gym if it was just exercise equipment, but here's what's over there. It's exercise equipment, plus, I don't know if you remember New Life Fitness Center from Fort Myers.
From Fort Myers? No. I remember them from other places.
We used to go play racquetball over there. Okay. Yeah, and they got like 20 racquetball courts. They have literally 5 fucking soccer fields on one of the floors. Full-size pitches, by the way. They've got 2 hockey rinks and 3 basketball courts up in that bitch. Also, a high-end diner. Like, I don't know what you're going to be doing, like, before or after kicking a soccer ball around. I'm pretty sure, like, having shellfish is not it, but any risk is a risk.
Go play a couple rounds of tennis and have some calamari with a nice evening aloe sauce.
Yeah, it's like, is that the first thing you check on before, you know, fucking getting swole, is seeing if the Chianti's and stuff? It's not a great way to rehydrate, you know?
This rosé is not bitter enough.
Maybe it's just for the hockey players.
Kind of like RVD Sportsplex down here.
Yeah, more or less. It reminded me a lot of the RDV, but like fucking huge.
Much
like
bigger.
Massive. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So that could be what they're talking about, but I've never seen anything like even closely resembling an amusement park anywhere here. It might be like way north, like past the Blight, but I haven't really ventured that far out because, you know, I didn't have a set of wheels for a while. And I don't even think I'm going to use them for that anyway. Whatever.
You were talking about your new job, and something that you're getting accustomed to is when we work in some of these higher end places, we get catered meals.
Yeah, that's mind blowing, isn't it?
When you work for the local TV stations for so many years, if you have a guest coming in who's making food, the first rule of TV is do not turn down free food.
Yeah, exactly. That shit ends up in the control room. That's actually, no, we worked at a place where we were like lucky if it ended up in the control room. Oh, yeah. Because as soon as we went off the air, as soon as like for one thing, I almost never got fed. Because I had to roll the fucking credits like all the time. The off airs were my responsibility, and I'd be like playing out the last page and seeing fucking Kevin drop the headphones and run out of the control room, so he could get like 2 bits of flatbread in his gut.
Yeah, you're more likely to be fed on the morning show just because they would have like these lighthearted guests and chefs and whatever come in. Yeah, and I remember this one chef that came in while we were at Fox. Chico helped me. We went out to their van. We pulled out this this gigantic barbecue grill, just so freaking massive and heavy. We pull it out, we get it all set up. It's like, all right, we're gonna have the lights over here, we're gonna do this over there. The damn chef cooked one goddamn burger patty on the thing.
Oh yeah,
it was probably at least 10 feet wide. And he's like wasting all this charcoal or whatever to burn one freaking patty. And we all looked at each other like, because first off, we all realized we're not getting food.
Yeah.
You can't split a burger 10 ways.
I mean, you can, just not happily.
Yeah. So we were just bad-mouthing this guest the rest of the day, and I think the rest of the week, too. Is like, fuck that guy. I can't believe this shit.
So this was not Mom and M's when they were still open. Mom and M's usually Mom and M's treated everyone right.
Yeah, Mom and M's was so good that they really took care of us. They catered one of our, I think, a Thanksgiving show. So yeah, we had soul food Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was awesome. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah.
Thanks for bringing that back to my recollection. Fantastic. No, it was like, I mean, local is very weird. For one thing, there's like almost no overhead with local, and that's reflected in the weekly pay. For two, like we even worked at like a pretty, I'd say the GC was a fairly big I mean, a fairly well-supported national enterprise, right?
Golf Channel?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was network, national, world. It was worldwide, actually. But
yeah,
it's not the venue you bring food on.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is that like it's a big place. Excuse me. And speaking of which, yeah, revisiting.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Dinner. Thank you. Happy New Year to you. I don't have any more burps left though.
Good.
So yeah, but we had the commissary there, and that was pretty cush. It was nice, and
yeah, had a wheel of death.
Thankfully for us, the wheel of death. Did we?
Yeah, it had a well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, downstairs. Right. Like, listen, if you're putting a wheel of death next to a pinball machine, I'm not gonna remember. And besides, the wheel of death was like something that kind of like I unregistered because that's totally like living local. That was.
Yeah, every place has a wheel of death now.
Yeah, every place has a wheel of death. But we had the commissary and it was cool, and the chefs were legit. Food was great. We still paid for it. I mean, ultimately, we just showed up. We were like, boy, I wonder what that catering life is like. Anyway, turkey burger, please. Up here. Before I get ahead of myself yet again. So after GC in the last couple of years, where I was like mostly unemployed, I was able to pick up like a truck gig every now and then, or do something over in Chicago, and it was still the same old story. We had a wheel of death. I didn't think that people got catering. And then when I started over at this place, the soccer place, the first day I showed up there, they had this like massive spread in the break room, which is a great break room, by the way, especially for a startup. And there was like a tapas style thing with a bunch of tins everywhere. So I'm just like, all right, steak, falafel, let's do it. And I thought it was just like because it was close to Champions League or something. And I'm scarfing it down. And somebody was looking at me eating, and they're like, "Oh, we got the tapas place again." And I'm like, "Okay, pause. Again? First of all, you mean this happens multiple times throughout the week? And B, why are you sound so like crestfallen about this? This is free fucking food. This is free fucking food that would cost like a pretty handsome mint if you were actually to go out and get it for yourself." And and as it turns out, this place gets catering like not just every day, but we actually have like another newsroom that works like right outside of our control room. There's 2 floors of operation, and they get their own meals. So we literally get 6 meals catered to us per day.
Wow.
Breakfast and bagels. I'm counting that as 2 deliveries, and we get 2 lunches and 2 dinners.
Okay, so quick question:
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if there is a difference in quality between what crew member gets which catered meal?
No, we eat with talent. That's how small this place is.
Well, does control room and talent get better meals than, like, say, the other catered meal, or it's all basically the same?
No. As a matter of fact, like the meals that are supposed to be for HQ, that's what we call the other sports and newsroom people, and meals that are supposed to be for us, they often like switch over the course of a week. So we more or less just consider like each of our meals as kind of like a single thing. So you'll see people from the newsroom like picking up, let's say we have like Qdoba brought in one day, which is like the bottom of the barrel for us, and Qdoba is still pretty good. That's like, they weren't really trying. But they'll like come in and grab some Qdoba, and then we'll like pull from whatever they got, and nobody really minds because, it's food at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Actually, in that kind of a situation, it's not just food, it's an alternative. So this was my first experience having to deal with that, and I was just like, people better not. I better not hear any of y'all bitching about this job.
Ungrateful bitches. Work local.
Yeah, unreal. I know it's TV and it still sucks, but we're getting free food. I mean,
and they're paying us.
I literally moved up here with like $30-40 in my pocket because I spent it all on the train, on establishing shelter, on like getting some winter clothes and stuff, basically just getting settled. And I thought I was going to be starving for a week. I thought it was going to be like, okay, well, it's PB&J's for you, bud, for a little while. And the first day I showed up, they had that there, and I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to worry about that today. And then the next day I showed up, I was like, oh, there's more. So literally for like the last 2 months of my life, my workplace off my stub has been paying for my meals. So I haven't even had to worry about that.
That's nice. Yeah,
that's fantastic.
I'm not really breaking any NDAs here, but I can tell you that for when I work at the Performance Center for WWE, there's the warehouse crew and then there's the talent crew. So, and they usually get different meals. The people, and what I say that the talent crew, it's just everybody who's in the actual ring arena. That's where most talent is, all the camera guys and
well, of course they get all the raw eggs and muscle dust.
Yeah, they get, sometimes it's a higher quality catered meal than what we get. Sometimes they take orders and they just DoorDash. But for us, it's for the warehouse people like me and the other control room staff. There's a scheduled meal that they order from, and it's varies from. They try to change it up. There's a lunch and a dinner order every single day, and usually the dinner meal is going to be Chipotle. Almost 3 times a month, it's going to be Chipotle.
I mean, that's fine. Well, you have Sonny's right outside the building, though. You ever get Sonny's?
We don't get Sonny's.
How dare they?
I know.
Literally right there.
The landowners of the warehouse that we store all of our crap in, they actually keep a smoker in the warehouse, and they'll wheel it out. They'll fire it up, and every once in a while they'll smoke some ribs. They'll start at like 7 o'clock in the morning, and by 6 o'clock in the evening, it's ready.
What?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I was going to say that's insane. Obviously, it is. You've got wrestlers fucking smoking ribs right in front of you, or at least...
it's not... It's like, I got to stress this. It's the landowners. It's not... not wrestlers.
All right. Okay. So it's not like not like one of the Fabulous Freebirds just sitting out there. Hey, everyone! Just
Michael Hayes with an apron on.
Michael Hayes, yeah. It's like Brother Love's out there making coleslaw and pimento cheese sandwiches for everybody.
Hey, Bruce, what you cooking? Death.
You want to know how I got this red face? You're eating it. God. That's funny as shit.
It actually reminds me, the first time I worked a job where I had catered provided. I know I've told this story once before, but I'm going to repeat it because it's a great story.
Yeah.
So in February of 2021, I was working for the G League, and our very first day, they pull us aside. It's like, all right, today is a lunch. It's a walk-away lunch. Which what the hell is that? It's like, we don't have catering for you today, but you just go off someplace, find something. There's a couple of things around. You can drive to the neighborhood McDonald's, which was so fucking far away. I was like, there's no way we're doing that.
Actually, was the G League like locally located?
Yeah, they had canceled the 2020 season, and then Gatorade,
I wonder why.
Yeah, Gatorade is the sponsor of the G League, and they said, no, we need to have a season. So they crammed an entire season inside of 32 days.
Oh my God, that's why they asked me to do that. Okay. It was so funny because I was up in Chicago at that time, and I was like, man, they must be really scraping the bottom of the barrel if they got to me.
Yeah, it was at ESPN Wide World of Sports, and they had 2 basketball courts. So one would start in the morning, and as soon as that game's over, the other court, they play a game. And then as soon as that game's over, we go back to the first court. So each court had 3 games every single day. Boom, 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 boom.
That must have been from sweet-ass overtime, though.
They gave us it was a flat rate because whatever.
Oh, Florida, that's why. I forgot.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Well, no. So the very first day, they didn't have everything established, and it was just me and like a couple other employees as we were on setup crew.
Right.
And they told us, all right, it's a walk-away lunch. So remember, this is February of 2021. The world has been shut down for close to 10, 11 months at this point.
Yeah.
The only vending machines we found had not been serviced in that time.
Oh, shit.
And some of the Coke bottles inside the machine had the sun blasting on them for so long that their labels had turned white.
Oh, God. And they still probably tasted good.
We didn't even bother. It's like everything in here has got to be rotted. Everything, all the drinks have got to be terrible. Now this takes place on, like I said, Wide World of Sports,
right?
Which is owned by Disney,
right?
And they had catering set up for a number of different peoples, and we were wearing ESPN Wide World of Sports badges. We're like, hey, let's go over here. Let's get catering. Let's not bother with the vending machines. And we go in there, and they had like beef tips and salmon and garlic mashed potatoes, and it was a whole setup.
Was it salmon?
Salmon, yes.
Salmon? Was it of the Rushdie variety?
Yeah.
Salmon Rushdie?
Yeah. You want me to keep going with this?
What did he write?
I don't know.
Satanic Verses.
Oh, that's right. Yes. I should know. It's on my shelf over here.
Skittermarink. All right. Anyway,
yeah. So we go in there. We help we show them our badges. Like, all right. So they scoop us a couple of plates full, and this is February, so the weather is really nice. We sat out in the baseball field, just looked at the green grass and the clouds overhead. It was a really nice day. We're eating this nice, great catered meal. It was really good. It's like, all right, time's up. Let's go back to work. So we go back into the control room, and I remember the A1 asked me, so you guys find anything? Yeah, man, there's like a catering place like right over here. And he said, oh, that's not for us. Because there's several tiers of employees, and we were like, there's like 3A and 3B, and we were 3B, and that was for all the A tier people.
Yep, and do you know what happens to that food when nobody touches it? They throw it the fuck away. So,
because, well, it's Disney, yeah.
Yeah, karmically speaking, you did nothing wrong.
Well,
also, I know about the McDonald's that you're talking about too. Not only is that thing like fucking like a trek away from where you guys are located, is also overpriced and really bad. So there's no winners. There's no winning for you guys at all in that situation. Go get the catering.
I'll tell you this. After that day, they provided catering for us.
Good. They learned.
We went to that catering location every single day. And we kind of had to a few times, because one time the organizer had ordered catering from Carrabba's. So she gets like the big bags and opens it up, and round the corner I hear, "Motherfucker!"
Okay.
It was like 35 containers of to-go food with half of a roasted chicken breast and nothing else. No noodles, no salad, no lasagna. It was just a full container with just half of a chicken breast in it.
Wow.
They had prepped all that, and someone accidentally sent it out. It came to us, and we're like, okay, I guess we're all eating the complimentary chips and crackers and whatever. I pulled over a couple camera guys like, follow me. I know where. Come on, guys. I'll show
Follow me to freedom.
Yeah. We went and we had like meatloaf and ribs, and oh my god, they kept telling me. So what did you guys do? Oh, we just we just had a Gatorade and just like relaxed. And,
oh, we brown bagged it.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah, and wiping barbecue sauce out of the corners of our mouths.
Where'd you get those cloth napkins from, guys? That's kind of odd. Did you have those here? Are you drinking Riesling? Is that guy just... I mean, I guess if you're the director, fine, but where'd you get that? That'd be funny that, like, I'm sorry, I started, like, giggling a little bit in the middle of that because I let my mind wander somewhat, and I was just like, he is not talking about the WWF, well, fucking what if he was?
Oh, no, they actually take care of us there. They take really good care of us. Matter of fact, they have, like, a constant supply of drinks and snacks all day long. So if I feel a little peckish or something, I go grab an apple, I go grab a bag of Cheetos or whatever.
Yeah, but imagine if WWE, your WWE had like that sort of catering brought to them, and
like
that kind
Carrabba's?
that kind of a snafu occurred where you got like half a tin of a piece of chicken or something. It's like, okay, fellas, Who took all the chicken parmesan?
Well, keep in mind this is HBK now. Well, I'm gonna grab the biggest guys there. We're gonna go down to Carrabba's. We're gonna kick the shit out of them. That's a horrible HBK. I know.
I know. I don't think I've ever actually heard. I've only heard HBK. No, that's terrible. That's worse. That's like if HBK was a Muppet.
He does have like this deep gravelly voice. Yeah.
It does, which is weird. Well, because back in the day, he had that youthful countenance to him. But when he started talking, he sounded like your uncle, and it was always like such a contrast in sensory input. It was just I can't. Oh man, don't dip any more tobacco, bud. It's not doing you favors. But I don't actually know what his natural speaking voice sounds like, and obviously I don't know what Triple H's sounds like either. So
no, Triple H actually sounds like a real human being when he talks. HBK still has, that's his natural voice, that deep gravelly. We want the cameras over here.
Even when he draws all the performance out of it, he still sounds somewhat like that.
Yeah, it's like that's his base setting now. Yes.
That is such a weird fucking job to have. It's like, hey, is he talking to me as a person or as a persona?
Oh my God.
I don't know. He's trying to be. So, I not only sign your paychecks, could literally lift you up over my head. Don't fuck up again, okay? I gotta go poop.
If this gets back to them, holy shit. I love where I work.
And I don't work for you, so I can say whatever the hell I want to.
Yeah, they're gonna find us like, this guy wants to work here?
Yeah, we know where you freelance, bud. Oh, I'm sorry. Also, I could still lift you over my head, too. Now I'm gonna go poop. Why? Why is that so funny?
Because you're you.
Yeah, of course, it's poop.
Yeah.
No, it's the fact that... All right, I gotta tone it down. I think Jordan and Shay are going to go to sleep. I've got housemates right now.
Oh.
Okay. All right. So no more Triple H poops.
Actually, you can't transition from that, so I'm just gonna jump into it.
You can attempt to.
Yeah. Well, since this is a new year,
how
about we share with everyone some of the results according to Podbean of how our show did last year. The weird thing is
that would be very interesting, because I think one of the first numbers we should look at is how many podcasts we actually did this year.
Believe it or not, we did 13.
Wow, we hit a double digit?
In May, we did 3 episodes.
Holy shit.
Don't ask me how we managed that. Because we average one a month. And there was a couple of times where we skipped a month, and then another time we did 2 a month. So yeah, we don't have a schedule. I'm sorry. If you find us, then thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And if you find me not on this but out there, I don't need any pocket change. I am fine. I am not homeless. We do actually work for a living, but that's kind of what contributed to this, was just our inconsistent professional lives. More or less.
So I just wanted to share some of our numbers. Some of it is kind of interesting. Some of it is whatever. August was our very best month, and we only had 1 episode that month. So
that must have been a banger. Maybe it was like a horrific catastrophe, and everybody had to listen to it.
Well, now I want to find out what episode that was in August.
That was August. That might have been fucking shit. I was delivering Uber Eats.
That was
AI. I bet it was AI.
It was AI. It was AI. It was a 2-parter. Yeah. It was the second half of a 2-parter we did. The use of Hollywood AI.
Yeah, I'll tell you why that one got so much traffic. It was because some of the people I know up in Chicago got wind of the fact that we do a podcast. And so they actually listen to a bunch of them at work, which I'm not really comfortable with at all. And
you'll never see them again.
Well, I talk to them regularly, like all the time. But then again, these are the guys that show up to work and enter a room and go, "Cox," and just nobody ever does anything about it. So I guess that's our target audience, really, when you think about it.
If you're one of those people, you need to tease Corey. And also thank you for the download.
The other half of that is that I actually posted, I think it was that episode, because for some reason I really liked how that one turned out. I posted that to my IG somewhere.
Oh, I didn't realize. I missed that you posted to your IG.
It was on a story, so it kind of hung out a bit because I don't put shit in my feed. IG doesn't matter, and they don't care. So I put it in the stories, and I found out that like 2 people that I know out in California actually followed the link and listened to it. One of them is like a regular listener, which is also mind blowing. So that's probably where all that came from.
Okay.
So that's like 7 whole people that listened to our broadcast that month.
I'm thankful for each one of you, and download each episode 4 times, please.
I'm glad they're still talking to me. That's all I can say about it.
Hey, that's a win in your book right there.
Yeah, because now they know.
I do want to tell you some of the other countries that download, because it has a printout of countries around the world that have listened to our cast. Now, keep in mind, obviously, United States would be the very top. It's at 94%. So everything else is like really, really minuscule. But
I thought we had a lock on the UK. Shit.
Actually, the UK comes in 3, 4, 5, 6. UK comes in 7th.
7th. Who's number 2?
And that's with one of our best supporters, Lee, out there.
Oh.
After that we have France.
Vive la France.
I cannot explain that one. Maybe the French are into the dirty stuff.
Je t'aime français. Thank you. Merci.
Yeah, merci. After that, we do have Australia. I know there's one of our PODFIX members is in Australia, so that could be them. So thank you guys.
It's not surprising though. It's a prison colony. They don't have that much to do.
Yeah, but it's rocket science podcast, so they talk about smart stuff.
I mean, it's Australia, so like they call it rocket science, but they're really just making like spud guns and trebuchets. I don't know that much about Australia, clearly. Yeah. Suddenly, our Australian listenership has like dropped off drastically. What the hell happened?
Oh, I can tell you. Sometime next year, I think in February, WWE's doing a pay-per-view in Australia.
Oh, really?
And it's at first when you say, "Hey, we're going to Australia," the first city that comes to mind is like, "Oh, they're going to Sydney." No, they're going to Perth.
Perth is the other city.
Perth is on the west coast of Australia. And I always thought, Perth is like that one town, no matter how you say it, it's always like a little bit of a surprise in your voice. Perth?
Yeah.
Perth. Really?
Because it sounds a bit like a verb. It sounds kind of like a verb, doesn't it?
Not Sydney. Perth.
Well, right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I got up this morning in Perth,
You're
I had a big meal, so I had to binge in Perth. Exactly.
Did you Perth today?
My dog always looks funny when he Perths on the back of the couch.
All right, so talking about dirty, coming in at
I'll be
number
here
4,
all week.
we have Germany at number 4.
As a way, I'm trying to make the seg here. Like speaking of talking dirty, Germany nothing they say really sounds dirty to me. It all sounds aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive, but
like they're about to do something to you, even though they're just probably like inviting you out for a smoothie or some shit.
Don't know.
That they might shit in because it's Germany and they're dirty.
Now he's getting it.
All of our demographics are rapidly shrinking. This is me sabotaging your life's work, Bob. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun to check out the numbers for next year.
Yeah.
All right, so coming in third, we got Singapore.
Singapore,
which I can't explain that one at all.
Yeah, that's kind of fucking Singapore. I'm sorry. I never wanted to do that to like. Well, here I am like insulting all of our other listenerships, but I have nothing against Singapore. They were a haven for pirates in the golden age of piracy. There's like kind of owe them for that much for some reason.
It's very, very odd. And obviously at number 2, you probably know who this is.
Canada.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not talking shit about Canada. For one thing, they're really close to where I am now, so
they can find you.
Yeah, one night I'll hear a knock on the window. It'd be like Salem's Lot. Goobs is just like hovering outside my window. Woo! I thought we were friends, bud.
Yeah, we also got Ocho and JD. Thank you guys if you listen. So say hi. Do you want to hear what... Oh, that's weird. Oh, I got to sign back in for some reason. You kicked me out. Thank you, Podbean.
That's because the administrative body of Podbean is all based in Australia, and they've quite had enough.
They've had enough of your shit.
Thank you very much.
Which you wouldn't surprise. It would be surprising. It's like Australia has a limit on anything.
What if the Australian listener that we have is the Earth's last remaining thylacine, and it is sentient? Tasmanian tiger.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, that was a bit of an outfield pitch, or outfield hit.
So as far as the states go, let's look at our top 10. So at 10th place we have Oregon.
So 10th place is Oregon.
Yeah.
All right, they are probably trying to find us.
They're going the wrong way.
They are going the wrong way. But they're like,
I think we're the safest from them. We're going to find them. We're going to give them mushrooms.
I'll tell you where I am in that case.
Number 9, we have Virginia.
Yeah, old Virginia.
I can't explain that one.
Now you said Virginia, not West Virginia?
Correct.
Okay, because West Virginia would be kind of like an Australian situation where there's not much to do. Corey May, we have like culture and things out here. I don't know, it's Australia, whatever.
You know what? West Virginia doesn't even register on the list.
It's just dirt and gators. West Virginia's not even on the list.
They don't have internet. They don't get it in the mountains.
In that case, if West Virginia ever did pop up on that list, we should be really impressed and probably just as grateful.
The numbers spike overnight.
Our listenership is probably just a dude and his family and their homemade server catching our shit.
Brandine, keep spinning that wheel. We need to get the
dude. We're someone's chore noise for making shine.
Oh my god. Speaking of shine, next up is Tennessee.
Tennessee.
If Landon, if that's you, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Yeah. Whereabouts is he at?
He is in. He's in Nashville.
Oh wow!
He could be in Memphis. It's. It's driving me nuts.
At least two of the most like culturally vibrant cities in the Smokies, and you're listening to us. Thank you for the free time, bud. But like, I feel bad now.
Well, he's a producer for a radio station, and I'm gonna guess it's one of the big markets.
That's not any better. That means he has exposure to alternatives.
Well, he's an on-air producer, so he's the mixer, basically.
I'm legitimately dumbfounded.
Okay.
Either way, okay. Now I feel like we have to perform. Now I feel like we're being evaluated. Because we have an industry professional, it's like in our audience, and it's just like, fuck, you could literally be listening to like fucking Ted Nugent talk about his canned hunts instead of us. All right.
Next up, we got Georgia.
That's probably family. If I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah. Shout out to Eli. How you doing?
Up next, we have one I never would have figured, but Minnesota. Like, by a lot, too.
What's a lot?
Well, they're coming in 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth fifth of the rankings of the amount of downloads. So
okay, does that give like an estimate of exactly how many or not exactly? That's not an estimate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, about 15%.
That was a shock burp. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another one because they're kind of, I don't know how to put this, a little bit buttoned up there, right?
Well, keep in mind everything below them is very minuscule, 2%, 3%, that kind of deal.
I'm just trying to like gauge the personality profile of most of the people who listen to us, which, and before tonight, I'd assume were just mainly degenerates. But like I'm giving Germany and Australia and shit because I kind of expect them to be listening to us. But Oregon's the first one. But Minnesota's like straight up like I can imagine that people from Oregon would be listening to us because, in their professional lives they have to be like a little bit straight-laced and whatnot, but when they get home it's just like, all right, time to get muddy. We're just gonna indulge our dark sides. I don't just have a sense of humor. I have like a devastating, like arid wasteland of humor hidden deep within my dark soul. It must be satisfied. But Minnesota is just like, Jeopardy's over, hon. What do you think we you want to just like head right to bed or something? It's like, oh, I don't know there. Maybe them Cretans have dropped something recently. And they're just sitting there listening to us, like not reacting. That's the visual that I'm getting.
Background noise for them.
Yeah. Well, not even background noise. They're engaged. They're not laughing, but they're not frowning. That's all I'm getting. This is just me in my mental theater coming up with how a Minnesotan can enjoy this bullshit.
Oh, it gets weirder going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But up next we got Michigan. So
okay, well that's
that was probably you.
Honestly, that was probably me. Yeah. Because Uber Eats is a boring fucking job.
Oh.
Yeah.
The next up is Iowa.
Fucking what?
Yeah. I mean, there's what is it about the Midwest?
All right. This is a hypothesis, and it's a stupid hypothesis, but it's the only one that seems that to me makes sense in this scenario. Maybe strip clubs got wind of us.
What's an Iowa strip club like?
It's the same as a Minnesotan strip club, just without the quirky accent, I suppose.
Do they dance around a fishing pole?
Corn stalks, Bob. It's Iowa.
Sorry, I was thinking Nebraska for corn.
I don't know. I can only imagine that like some DJ or somebody got wind of our podcast and is like cutting up bits of our audio to put in their spins, and they play all these live shows, and people like request the two assholes that used to be from Florida. Hey, can you like do a remix of this? I heard this one dude said something really embarrassing about Star Trek on this episode. You just try to cut that into your latest track, could you? That's the only reason. Dude, we should do viewer mail. We should do viewer mail.
If we got viewer mail, I would absolutely do that. So
well,
yeah.
Like we have all these like avenues of social media and stuff, but the thing is that like not everybody, especially nowadays, not everybody's going to see that as like attractive. Like you have to have a Twitter account to even look at Twitter nowadays. That's off-putting enough. Like imagine actually signing up for that shit and then seeing what Twitter is and being like, oh yeah, this is a good idea.
There's other avenues. I mean, there's Instagram, there's Threads. We're Cretans Guild. You can find us.
Yeah, but you always got to sign up and log in for that bullshit. However, you do viewer mail, all you need is an email address, and literally everybody has an email address. If you have a job, you have one of those.
CretansGuild@gmail.
We got a Gmail then?
Yeah, we got one.
Fucking hey, let's do that again. Send us some stuff to cretansguild@gmail.com. Tell us where you're from, and just for my own curiosity, maybe tell us why the fuck you're listening to us. Especially if you're from like the big question mark areas that we were just talking about. Dude, I'm curious.
It's digging at me too. It's like Iowa and Minnesota. It's like
It's the big red button in the little box sitting right in front of us that says "Do not press," and it's just like I gotta fucking. I don't care if it opens up a black hole right above my house. I have to hit this red button. Anyway, that's a station. Just send us whatever. It doesn't even have to be like flowery or detailed. Where it's like, hey, I'm from Iowa and I listen to you guys while rubbing one out.
That's kinky.
It's kinky and also flattering.
Yeah.
Yeah. No judgment.
You can get it up while listening to us.
I mean, I'll take a compliment where a compliment's given.
All right, coming in at number 2. Mm-hmm. This one is probably it's probably not weirder than Iowa and Minnesota, but it's still up there in the strange.
All right, so it's a state. Let me guess. Can I guess this one? Okay.
Do you want a hint? Because there are only like 45 more to choose from.
All right, I'm going to make an honest guess, and then you can give me a hint.
Okay.
All right. Illinois.
No.
It is not. All right, give me a hint.
Actually, Illinois, 0 downloads.
Those fuckers lied. You sons of bitches.
No. Unless it's being registered. Oh, wait. Chicago is... It's on the east side, right?
We're talking about Podbean, right? I actually linked iHeartRadio in the story.
Oh, we'll get to that, too.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, the numbers still go to Podbean.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So maybe if they're listening through a different source, it doesn't register as a state or as a location.
That could be. Unfortunately, I don't know about the back end of this whole operation. That's why you're the audio dude, and that's why I play the off airs while everyone else is getting food, Bob.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always the last one to leave.
All right. So coming in at number 2, it's a West Coast state.
West Coast. Okay.
And we already got Oregon out of the way.
The surprises keep on coming. And we already established that California is one of them, right?
One of what?
One of the states that already listened to us, or is this California that you're about to tell me?
It's California.
It's California, okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of land. That's all I can say.
California by a lot.
By a lot?
Yeah.
Because I know only 2 people out there that know about the podcast that listen, and one of them stopped.
They register 22% of all of our downloads.
What?
Yeah.
Are you talking your nuts for real? That's crazy.
Not at the moment. I'm sitting on them.
Yeah, it's that the logistics would be kind of inconceivable. Okay. So does pardon me for being like naive about this, but does it like register by region or anything? Does it say like? No,
it's just state.
Is it the part of California where there's literally just like it's Bithlo but without trees?
Arnold Schwarzenegger is in Sacramento just downloading every single episode.
God, these guys are fucking funny, Maria. It's actually, you know what would be believable is Chris Pratt's just downloading our shit through his account, through his dad-in-law's account. That's what it is.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I insulted Germany.
Yeah, ooh, there you go.
And Schwarzenegger's Austrian, and he's like, he's right, you know. Okay, anyway, sorry.
He's a fan of Gunther.
California.
Yeah, I know. And coming in at number 1, no shocker here, between all the people in the PODFIX network and myself, Florida's number 1.
Yeah, duh.
With 23%.
I've got a theory. I've got a theory as to why California is our second largest listenership.
Oh?
Because you remember what I did in 2020, right?
Remind me.
I went on that road trip.
Oh, and you were putting those stickers everywhere.
I was putting those stickers everywhere. Did Colorado show up on this list anywhere?
0 downloads, Colorado.
0 downloads in Colorado.
And I have family in Colorado.
Oh, well. All right, well, you know, fuck them along with the rest of the state.
0 downloads in Nevada.
I didn't actually. Wait, I got 2 stickers. I got 2 stickers out in Nevada, but there was a lot happening in Nevada, so I didn't really do the footwork there. But in California, I dropped off. God, I think like maybe 15 stickers, maybe, because I remember I threw one in the front of the Grummins, in front of the Magic Castle, in front of the Hollywood Hotel, Where else did I go? One of Danny Trejo's Danny Trejo's donuts. There was a Starbucks that was retrofitted inside of a Streamline style gas station that was over near the Muppet Studio. I dropped one off. Been it. Yeah, I also dropped a bunch off in Oceanside, San Diego. I fucking did like some serious legwork in California. That might have done it. Holy fucking shit. How would you like to have some listeners from New York, Bob?
I would like that very much.
All right. Send me up another roll of stickers because I don't have any with me right now. Do that.
I'll do that.
All right.
All right. The last source I wanted to look at was the download sources, all the different applications where you are able to get our show.
Okay.
It's apparently more than even I am offering it on. So I guess as long as somebody has the download code, I forget what the RSS number.
I don't know.
Whatever. Yeah, as long as you have that, you can listen to our show wherever. But there's also a couple of other ones that I normally post on. We have some weird ones like Audible. Roku.
We're on
DV.
Audible?
Well, I didn't put us there, so someone's listening to us through Audible.
Does Amazon know this?
I don't know. There's also Roku DVP.
That's pretty cool, actually. The one neat thing about Roku that people don't know about is that it's really popular in homebrew.
Okay.
You can literally make your own channel on Roku and have it be accessible through the store. That's awesome as fuck. Somebody's listening to us through a homemade channel.
Let's see. We got a couple other minor ones.
I'm guessing, by the way. So
yeah, some of these are registering just like at 1% of our download totals.
Yeah. Huh.
But there's also Google Nest Hub. I think I know what that is.
Google Nest is just basically its smart home product line, right? That's
yeah.
that could have been Jay or Mary listening to us in there because they have a Nest.
Oh, and they mistakenly hit the play button.
Could have been. Could be Victor's listening to our podcast too. Which
go to bed, Victor.
Yeah. Hey, you don't want any of this lifestyle, dude. It'll ruin your career.
Let's see. We also have Google Podcasts.
Google's everywhere. That's no surprise. Yeah.
Yeah. Antenna Pod. I've never heard of that one.
I don't know. Is that like
It's another hosting site of some kind, I think.
Is that a hosting site?
It's
that's not like
of some kind.
Like a gas-run server in the middle of Siberia, and they're like catching our signal off of bent coat hangers and shit.
I guess.
Which would be amazing, to be honest with you.
Here's another weird one: Alexa-enabled device.
That's just Amazon. That could have been shit. That could have been me listening at home or at Jay's house.
Well, you see, here's the thing. It's labeled as Alexa-enabled device, and right above that is Amazon Music Podcasts. Now
see?
I'm pretty sure we're on Amazon, or I post it there. So it's probably some correlation with that.
All right, so you did actually post this to Amazon's podcast.
The way it's set up is when I upload to Podbean, there's all these other podcatchers that I shared the code with. So it automatically uploads to them, and some of the next ones I'll mention, that's where a lot of people are listening to our show.
God, I feel so bad now that this many people are like listening to us.
Well, keep in mind, up to this point, it's like 1%, 2%. It's not much.
Yeah. Just imagine like somebody listening to us and then being like, "Huh, these two people talk like this. Maybe it's okay now." It's not. It's not even like psychologically healthy, which is why we do it like openly like this. So okay, the responsibility falls squarely on our shoulders, Bob. I hope you're willing to accept that.
Hey, we are more transparent than the Supreme Court, so there you go.
Yeah, that's not saying a lot though.
I know. Yeah. Our next four are regular podcatchers where you just enter in the code and you can just follow from there. There's Overcast, there's Podcast Addict, which I think JD listens to that. He told me about it once.
Podcast Addict.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
It's just an app that you enter in the RSS code and then you can listen to whatever podcast.
Okay, so I assume it like circumvents any advertisements, et cetera, et cetera.
I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, that could be it.
Because he's usually like on the high tech end of things.
Yeah, so that wouldn't surprise me. There's also Pocket Casts. Never heard of them. It's probably the same deal. You just type in the name of the show you want to listen to, and you can listen to them. Podbean app. That's pretty low as far, but not everybody has Podbean, so I'm not really surprised by that.
Before iHeart, I was listening, like at the beginning of this year, I was listening to our casts on Podbean pretty exclusively.
I would do that once in a while before I went to Spotify on a regular basis. Because I have the membership for Spotify, so I might as well listen to that and not deal with any ads.
Yeah. Remind me of Spotify at the end of this, by the way. I want to ask you something. Okay. Okay.
Let's see. We also have Firefox, Google Chrome. So people are listening to us on their computer.
That happens. Dude, how cool is it that like Firefox is becoming relevant again?
I'm still having that issue because I've been on Chrome for so long. I've had a little bit of hesitancy of going back to Firefox because that's what I was on. Until Chrome came around, I was like, oh, this is so much better. And now Firefox cleaned up their act, so I don't know.
Firefox had like a top-down reckoning with most of its organization, which is why its browser was like so extensively like re-engineered. You remember that like their worst thing was that they had this like absolutely brutal fucking memory leak if you left the browser open for too long or had too many tabs open. I
remember something along those lines. Yeah,
it's completely fucking gone. So now that like Chromium is kind of like the bedrock for a lot of other like so-called alternative browsers like Brave and such, you still can't do certain things. Like one thing that like Chromium really fucking eats my ass up with is that like if you have OBS or no, that's kind of like tying my logic up a little bit. If you like do a print screen of something from Netflix and browser, it comes up as a black screen because the entertainment industry is more or less like, hey, Google, stop this from happening. And they're like, all right. Yeah, because, the tech industry is just all a bunch of bitches in bed with each other and shit. But Firefox. Yep. Firefox, nope. You can still screen cap streaming services. Good times were had by all.
That doesn't really surprise me. This next one I've never heard of. And actually, it's called AHC. And I want to type in... What is AHC? What the hell? Alternating hemiplegia of childhood? Alternating hemiplegia of childhood.
It's probably not that.
Oh my god.
Try this as a Boolean. AHC browser.
You know what? No, I'm going to keep going down this rabbit hole. Let's see what else comes up with AHC, because there's a lot, apparently. So we have the American Heroes channel.
Okay, that's not us.
Yeah.
Although, how cool would it be?
We have Allen Hancock College.
Janitor, perhaps?
This doesn't stop. Alabama Register of Landmarks and Heritage? How's that become AHC?
Heritage, but what's the C stand for, possibly?
Yeah, because there's no C anywhere in that sentence.
Huh.
Agricultural Programs of Alabama. Again, how do you get that?
Agricultural. Huh. I got nothing. I'm like a wasteland of ideas here.
Advanced Healthcare. Let's see. American Horse Council.
That's it. That's the one. That's just...
Administrative Hearing Commission. The Affordable Housing Corporation.
Well, they are deaf, so they wouldn't really have anything to lose. All right, so we're gonna test your hearing now, and if this like pisses you, if this sends you off into like a spastic fit of
raise your left or right
rage, go ahead and give us the middle fingers, both of them if you can muster it up. We're like a control element in somebody's rehabilitation.
Oh my god. Okay, what is hemiplegia? What is that?
I don't know. I'm not going to look that up on this browser, though.
Rare neurodevelopment disorder characterized by repeating episodes of weakness or paralysis that may affect one side of the body or the other. Hemiplegia. or both sides of the body at once. Quadriplegia.
Could this have something to do with the word cretin?
No.
As was recently discussed or examined.
No,
in a prior
don't tell me.
episode.
Oh my God! Don't tell me that.
Could it be?
Okay.
Could it be our biggest fan, Bob?
I'll just do AHC cretin.
Uh huh.
I don't think so. I don't think it's the same thing.
That would have been such fucking scintillating drama.
Oh my God!
Damn.
Oh my God!
What?
Okay, some of these other things that popped up. Evaluating a chronic disease management improvement source. And AHC, turning Czechs into German-speaking Austrians.
That's certainly what we're all about here at Cretans Guild International.
That's from alternatehistory.com. AHC.
Right. We'll migrate your asses behind municipal lines, or legislative lines.
All right. Cretin is. I'm just going to see if there's any correlation between the two.
And so, you, dear listener, how is your Friday night going?
Okay, it's not related. It's not related. Because cretinism is now called congenital hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism.
And I know that, Bob. And do you know how I know that?
Because we lived through it.
Because we had a fucking stalker that kept reminding us of this. Those were the days, though. Those were the days. 3 months ago.
Days I don't want to relive.
Wait, where was she based out of?
I don't know.
She was like French or something, wasn't she?
I don't know. Or at least I don't remember.
Was France one of our suspects? Not suspects. I don't know.
Downloads.
Downloads, yeah. But by the time you've like willingly listened to us, you're a bit more than just a passive participant.
France does have a couple of downloads.
Oh.
But they're near they don't even register on the top 25 of countries that listen to us.
Wow, way to stalk, chick. Somebody apparently doesn't care that much.
I mean, India is ranked higher than France.
What's going on in India?
I don't know, but what is this little country right here? Suriname,
I think.
Suriname, thank you. Yeah, they register higher than France.
What's going on in Suriname?
Poland ranks higher than France. Romania ranks higher than France. Wow. Jesus Christ, Romania?
We're global. Doesn't that concern you a little bit? That we're like...
Does it for you?
I've got a little bit of guilt. Like, especially after, like, the Donald Trump era. We're like, internationally speaking, we don't have the best reputation, culturally speaking.
What are you talking about? We're playing culture. Blech.
Yeah, I know. Just wait for me to burp for the 20th time in this episode alone. Or snort while laughing.
Yeah. All right, so getting back to our download sources, our top two, coming in at number 2 is Spotify. That doesn't really shock me.
Right, yeah.
And then after that, it's Apple Podcasts, which has about 35% of all of our downloads.
Huh. How much was Spotify in contrast to that? Apple?
13%.
You said 13. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting because we share like a sequestered market space with like one of the biggest podcasts on the planet. That's cute.
Oh yeah, I didn't go over iHeartRadio, did I?
No, not yet.
They were just above AHC, whatever the hell that is.
I keep trying to come up with an acronym. It's not coming to me. I'm sorry. It's just I did not earn my overtime tonight. All hail Cretans. That sounds like a design that has to happen now, doesn't it?
I know. Yeah. I've got to find if they have like a logo. Let me see.
That's a
what did you suggest earlier? AHC what browser?
Yeah, AHC and then browser as your search term.
Please
don't be gore porn.
Nah, I'm looking at the same stuff as before.
Oh, okay.
It could be related to Mozilla.
Mozilla.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Or Netscape. What? Netscape's still a thing?
It is, but like, how far down like the pre-2K like Luddite rabbit hole have you got to be to still be using Netscape?
I really don't know.
Or maybe this individual knows something that we don't, which would be pretty fascinating. You, who, if you're listening to us through Netscape, we really want you to email us.
Unless you're a student at Allen Hancock College, you need to let us know.
Well, what if they're... Well, first of all, where's Allen Hancock College located?
Oh, that's a good
Secondly, if you're the dude that is like living in Minnesota and you listening to us through Netscape, you've got a story. Like, I know it's just an intuition, and oftentimes my intuition is bunko, but it's kind of like pinging right now pretty loud.
Allen Hancock College, Santa Maria, California.
It's another one of the Californians.
California came in second.
Yeah, our West Coast Army grows.
Maybe AHC is like some kind of student, kind of like how the Facebook was just for Harvard students at one time.
This is pretty fun. This is almost like we're doing an ARG, isn't it?
Yeah.
Except it's pointless and kind of bordering upon like doxing.
Oh yeah, it's either going to be 100% worthless or we're going to uncover the Illuminati with this.
Oh god. If even like a single member of the Illuminati listens to us, it's like y'all can't be that powerful.
It's Murdoch.
Or organized.
You know it's Murdoch.
Yeah, it's probably Murdoch.
It's probably Murdoch.
He says, she's onto us, guys. And they're all like, on to what there, pal?
So we want to thank our overlord, Rupert Murdoch, for listening. This is probably a good point to jump off.
I don't know. This is a good point to like, tie it up, if only to leave like that suggestion out there, man, because like I guarantee you there's like some like utterly like magnetic stories behind why people like listen to us, because we don't have like an idea of like what our typical listener is. We think it's like, some fucking Arrested Development fucking pile of
with the conspiracy.
Like emotional immaturity that we are, it's like we always thought it was just going to be like other morons listening to this shit, and it's like,
well, they are.
Yeah, but like there's so many different varieties of moron.
They come in all shapes and sizes.
They come in all shapes and sizes, like a log. But we want to know, like, the logs that listen to us, like, what is your fucking deal? Especially if you like live off continent. Germany, I have like a theory about, because they have kind of like a cinched attitude towards like jokes and humor and stuff. So like, I get it. You need to blow off some steam. Minnesota is going to be at the top of my what the fuck list, though.
More than Iowa?
Okay, Iowa is like right underneath it, and probably a bunch of California. But I met a lot of Californians when I went out there, because you have to. People love going outside in that state, and there's very few places to park. So, yeah, they probably don't really care. Probably it's likely that a good half of them don't even register what they're listening to. So that might answer that question. But.
Okay.
But yeah, like especially like the Midwest, it's like something amiss happened in your life. Somebody steered you wrong, and we need to know about that tale of woe and exploit it so we can, pump out another episode of this mess.
Yeah, you need to get in touch with us if you're in Iowa listening.
Yeah, and then afterwards get in touch with a therapist.
Maybe this is their therapy. Who are we to judge?
God, I hope it's not the Illuminati. All right.
That should be our tag out for this year. So Happy New Year, Corey.
Mm-hmm. Happy New Year, Pops.
Yep.
Happy New Year, Happy New Year, Sam. If you can hear me, probably not. Wait, yeah, he can. He's a dog.
Yeah.
He just can't really say Happy New Year like back, because
Happy New Year.
He's not a cartoon mystery solving Great Dane.
Yeah, he's not Scooby-Doo.
No, right.
So hopefully we'll do more than 10, 11 episodes this year. No promises. None at all. But we want to thank you for listening. We are part of the PODFIX Nation. You could find them on
and possibly the Illuminati.
And the
yeah.
Now they're just fans.
Right. They don't control everything. Certainly not PODFIX.
They do control PODFIX. Let's just go with that. They control PODFIX. PODFIX.com. Guys, go ahead, check out our TeePublic site. You will find great art by Tom Solo. Thank you so much, Tom, for everything you've done for us. Guys, we are the Cretans Guild. Thank you so much. Do I remember how to sign off the show? No, I do not. So
that's why like the other guy normally does that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I have it written down somewhere. I just never pulled it up.
Well, it's, okay, let me see if I can remember it. It says, so, okay, practice infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Go with that, yes.
Yeah, all right. And good night to all your cats and dogs.
Good night, Rupert.
Good night, Illuminati. We love you.
This was a podcast of the PODFIX Network. You can check out more shows like it at podfixnetwork.com.
Split up into atoms.
I'm saying black holes are fucking scary, Bob.
Okay.